Yeah, it's called fake ID. So, transformations. I was 17 years old and a senior in high school. Oh, well, first off, I forgot. I'm supposed to roast somebody up here tonight. I want to say thank you to Chris Miller for coming out this evening. I know it's way past your bedtime. You go to bed at what, 7:45? So Chris Miller is so old.
How old is he?
He marks AD after his birthday just to make sure no one confuses it with BC. They're 100% sure how old he is. Now, in all fairness, Chris Miller is older than me. Yes, he is, but not by much. I've known him for 20-something years, I believe, and we're about the same age. So we're going to go back to high school for us, which may be birth for some people, I don't know, but even maybe before birth for all we know. But it was 1991. I was 17 years old. It was a graduating year. And I went to a high school that had 3 different high schools combined at once. It was like a prison mentality. You had to be part of a gang or something. I didn't play sports, so at the time I quit baseball and all that stuff. So I had no gang affiliation. So I had to have kind of a hustle. So what was my hustle? I'm gonna buy beer. How am I gonna do that? So I said 3 high schools came together. We got an ID that year for the first time, right? A nice laminated ID. And I look at that, I'm like, ooh, I can do something with this. So I get an X-Acto knife out and I start slicing it open. I can get this ID open, right? So immediately I go to school the next day. I lost my ID, my dog gave me a new one, so I had a real school ID. Now at the time, as senior year, you're applying for colleges, correct? All over the nation, right? Luckily, University of Akron had low standards. They accepted me, and that's why I'm here today, and I gotta admit. And so I had one from a school up the road. I don't want to mention its name. It rhymes with bent, okay? And I had a piece of paper, so I sliced my ID open, and I had the official Bent logo on there, and I sliced it out. This is before Catch Me If You Can, too, by the way. And I put this in there, and I made my own fake ID. It was good, I gotta say. It was really nice. So much that I had a little hustle going for I made a few other IDs for other people as well. But to make that ID work, you had to have a little bit of a mischievous mind. I had too much smarts for my age, is the way I look at it, and I had a wandering mind. So a friend of mine said, you know what? I can get you a fake birth certificate. This is before the internet. I don't know where the hell I got it from. We got a fake birth certificate. So he broke into the school when they still had typewriters in your school, right? Broke in there and typed their name on it. Got my buddy's parents, who I think the mother was a notary public. She notary stamped it, and it was official. So I had a Bent State University ID, and I had a fake birth certificate to go with it. I was 23 years old. I don't remember what my name was. Maybe I had a cool name. I don't know. But I would go to places and I'd show them this ID, and they're looking at it like. And when I was 17, I looked really young. I could have passed for 12 at 17 in reality. And so I went to these little places, and they would look at it, and I would start talking to them. I had a gift of gab, as we're doing right here. So I started talking to them like, yeah, I'm back home for the weekend, hanging out with my parents. It's been a rough week. Exams are this week. I failed a class, whatever. But, well, you look really young. Oh, it's a blessing, I know. It's really great. Like I said, I was 22 years old, so I would buy beer. I had a little good game going. I had my prison mentality in school, right? Had to have an affiliation. Well, I became cool all of a sudden. I could buy beer, and it was fantastic. So I had a buddy of mine. He's a little bruiser. He liked to get into fights, and he was kind of a bad dude, so to speak. And we bought some beer. I dropped him off at a friend's house. A girl he wanted to talk to, whatever. Me and my buddy left. Well, the cops showed up. He had beer. That little guy told him I bought the beer. He's not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to rat your friends out. But he told him I bought the beer, and I was angry about it. But police called me down. I'm a young-looking, clean-cut kid, and I didn't buy no beer. Someone bought it for me. Well, they believed me, whatever. They never busted him or anything, but he ratted me out. So I'm at a party later on that night, a Friday night. And like I said, I'm trying to mingle with people. Football players are there, the baseball team's here, the cheerleaders are there, whatever, the in crowd, and I'm not quite the in crowd. And I hear, "Green, there's somebody outside gonna kick your ass." So I stumble outside, and I'm a little bit drunk, and I walk out. It's snow all over the ground. And there's the guy that turned me into the police for buying beer, saying that I ratted him out and that I got him in trouble and all this, which I never did. So I don't like to fight. I don't, I try to avoid fights all I can. I don't have any scars on my face. Well, not from fights. I got eyebrow scars. It's a totally different story anyways. But I try to keep this physique because I don't want people to beat the hell out of me, you know? So I walk out there, and this little bruiser's out there, and he's a little bit smaller than me. This guy's never won. He never got beaten in a fight. He's like, I'm going to kick your ass. Please, I don't want to fight. Oh, you're a whatever choice word thrown in there. I don't want to fight. So he pushes me, right? So my transformation had went from getting a fake ID, being 22, buying beer, to put me into a place where I'm going to possibly get the shit kicked out of me in front of the whole high school team behind me. Everybody's outside. So I snapped. And I beat the hell out of him, and it wasn't fun. You know, if you've ever been to a fight before, you get animal instincts, you want to kill somebody, and it wasn't a fun thing. Blood's all over the place, my hand's all bloody. Everybody's like, oh yeah, you kicked his ass, Green, whatever, they take me to the house. I'm a hero, so I transformed into a hero that night. This big party went on. Well, the party fizzled out, it's getting late at night, and I have to find somewhere to go. So we go to other friend's house. We're there. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't know, Friday night, Saturday night. My parents were a little bit liberal and let me go out, so I guess we'll say at that time in my life. And while I'm at these people's house hanging out, I'm feeling really good about myself. I got into a fight, I defended myself. I hear some noise outside. I look up, my vehicle, there's a bunch of people that pulled up. It's the family of this kid outside with guns and baseball bats, and they're kicking my car, pissing on my tires. Yo, where's that green guy at? We're gonna kick his ass. He jumped our friend. So I hide in the basement of this girl's house. I'm hiding in the basement, sitting behind, looking through things like, oh my God, they're gonna get me and my buddy. And they come in, they look through all the house, they try to find us. They go outside. This is before cell phone times too, so I get a phone. So I went from being, you know, my transformation to being a 17-year-old to a 22-year-old buying beer, hanging out, to in the basement call my dad at 1 o'clock in the morning, come help me, bring a gun, bring a shotgun, they're gonna kill me, there's people got out of prison, this whole family's gonna kick my ass. So they finally leave, my dad shows up and he's like, what the hell are you doing, boy? You know, and I go home. So I think it's all cool, right? That was on a Friday. Nothing happened the next day I go to school. Well, I hear through the grapevine that this kid that got into a fight, the whole family, everybody saw me get into a fair fight with him technically. He told them that I jumped him, me and his friends, and his whole family believed that I jumped him. They're coming after me. So I had to lay low that day because his family was a known family for just jumping you and beating the hell out of you. You go back to the idea of being in a prison type of school with a bunch of rules in it. So I was very scared that day. Until the word got out that it was a fair fight, everything is fine. So I'm feeling good again, you know? My transformation back to a, hey, you know, this guy, a little nerdy kind of kid that had a computer, which no one had a computer except for me back in the day, so I was a nerdy guy. He defended himself, and that was cool. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Another transformation. I'm sitting in class that next day, so it's like Tuesday after all this went down. And my buddy looks over and says, you got a red line in your arm. Look at it. Well, I had a red line that went from where I got into a fight right up my arm. I pulled my shirt down, and it was about right here. I didn't know what that was, and I went and told the teacher, I'm like, you have a blood infection, you need to go to the hospital. So I went down to the principal's office, and they're like, yeah, we heard if it goes to your heart, you're gonna die. I'm 17 years old thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm ready to freak out. Well, call my mom, get her down here, we can get to the damn hospital. So my mom rushes down, and we get to the hospital. The whole time, I'm freaking out, you know, oh God. Is there anything I might die? You know, they told me if it gets it, it's moving. I can see this red line progressing towards my heart. I'm gonna die is in my mind. And I'm like, was there anything you want to tell me, Mom? Do I have a different dad? Is something wrong? I'm going through all these thoughts in my mind. And you know, that transformation, I get that fake ID. My mom had heard through the grapevine at that point that I was out drinking at a bar because I pushed it, and a cousin had seen me with that fake ID. So at that point, as I'm worrying about my life passing in front of me and getting to the hospital because I'm going to die, my mother pulled that fake ID back on me because she had found it at the house and took my fake ID from me. So my transformation to going from a 17-year-old to a 22-year-old had a lot of consequences. And by the way, don't do that. That's not a good story if we're on tape here. No, that's bad. Don't make fake IDs. And oh no, I didn't make fight. I made that story up. But anyways, yeah, it's a crazy thing how you can transform into something and it can possibly maybe kill you if you don't watch out.